Okay. Hello. This is Yang Family Tai Chi Traditional Long Form, Section 1. And today we will do a quick review of the beginning and get into ward off. Okay. So what I'd like to do first is a little bit of standing practice. So have your feet shoulder width apart. Sit slightly. Have your hands in a circle in front, about 1/5 distance apart. And I want you to think of yourself as like a sunflower. Okay, so your head is reaching up toward the sky and your feet are rooted into the ground. And I want you to sink your waist. And what that means is think about sitting on a high stool. So you have that slight sitting feeling. And I want you to think of the energy coming from your feet and up through the top of your head. Then from that spine, I want it to branch out into your arms. So you're going to have the circle that comes out from your spine out to your fingertips. So in the classics, they talk about the energy coming from your feet, through your legs, controlled by your waist, and out your hands. So that's the feeling I want you to get. And this is going to be your reference shape. So whenever you have any doubt as to what your body shape should be, think back to this shape. Okay? When you're doing prepare, what you're doing actually is reminding your body of this shape. So let's go back to prepare. When you're at prepare, you want your feet to be shoulders width apart. Your hands are at your sides, the middle finger of your hands touching the seams of your pants. When you go into opening, what I want you to think of is, I want you to think of turning your forearms. Can you see? I want you to turn your forearms to the back. Turn your forearms so your hands face back. And I want you to think of only turning your forearms. In other words, I do not want your elbows to come out. When you come up, I don't want you to do this. What I want you to do is, if you did not turn your hands, it would look like this. The points of your elbows are facing down. So when you're doing prepare, when you're doing opening, turning only your forearms, then come up to shoulder level. And then as you come down, the points of your elbows go down. And then your arms come down with it till you're almost to the bottom. So let's do that again. You're here, and as you open, you are turning only your forearms so that they're in front of your thighs, and you're coming up to shoulder level and pressing down. Okay, so when you're here, think about pressing down with your palms till you're almost to the bottom. Okay. And I'd like to do a review of left ward off, and then we'll go into right ward off. So let's think about the footwork in left ward off. I'm going to do it facing you first, and then I'm going to do it in a few other directions so you can see better. Well, actually, I'm going to turn around and just do the footwork. Okay. So if your shoulders width apart, if we do a 5 count, okay, 1, we're going to shift our weight toward the left. 2, what this does is it frees up this foot. You're taking off the weight from the right foot. Then you're going to turn the right foot on its heel to the corner. While you're doing that, your left knee stays positioned in the direction of your left toe. Okay, you are not doing this. You are keeping your left knee lined up with your left toe. Okay, 3, you're going to put all your weight on the right. So when you did this, this is going to become your back foot. So when you know this is going to become your back foot, your hips go with it. Okay, which is why I cautioned you about the knee, because when your hips go this way, there's a great temptation for your knee to go with it. So you want to keep your quad open so that this enables this movement. So once your right foot is faced toward the corner and you know it's going to become the back foot, you shift all the weight to the right. That's 3. 4, you move your left foot forward directly in front of where it was. And 5, you bend knee. So you bend the front knee in the direction of the toe, and you straighten out the back foot, back leg. But try to think of the knee still facing in the direction of the back toe, even though you're straightening out the foot. Okay, so once again, your feet are parallel. You're shifting your weight to the left, 1, to release the right. 2, you're turning to the corner. And meantime, your hips go with it. And your knee stays that way. 3, all the weight goes on the right. 4, this foot goes directly in front of where it was. Step. You're just positioning the foot. Then heel, ball, toe, bend knee. And as you bend knee, you're putting the 60% of the weight in the front and 40% of the weight in the back. Okay? And unlike the standard bow stance, if I were to do it this way, let's say I'm parallel, I shift weight to the left, I turn to the right, I put all my weight on the right, I move my leg forward, and then heel, ball, toe, bend knee. And you can see that generally speaking, if I were to do a standard bow stance, I would be here. I would have a line from the back of my foot to the base of my neck. But left ward off is an exception to the rule. So with left ward off, what you're going to do is you're going to tuck in your right hip. So that enables you to have a vertical stance. So that does not change the alignment of your knee and your foot. You're just essentially pulling in the right glute so that your stance can be upright. Okay? So if I do it, I don't know if it's any help if I do it this way, but we'll see. Okay, so here I'm shifting my weight to the left. I'm turning my foot to the corner. I'm putting all the weight on the right. And then I'm stepping directly in front of where I was. Heel, ball, toe, bend knee. And you can see, I can still see my toes in front of my knee. Okay, so I don't want you to be here. I want it to be here. And we're going to tuck in this hip crease, and that allows me to be vertical.
When you say tuck in which direction?
Think about in. So the reason why I say that you need to have flexible hips is that this area is what the Chinese call the qua, and it is an arch shape, and you want to maintain that arch. So when I say tuck in, what I mean is you have muscles here that control how far wide. Remember when, let's do a quick exercise. When you're here, if my hands are my feet, and I think about screwing my feet into the ground, okay, imagine turning your feet, even though they're stuck on the ground. What happens is that you should feel that your knees are going out. Your hips are going out. So this hip going out is what forms the quad. So when I am here and I am in bow stance and I want to straighten up, essentially I am tightening up the glute here, and that kind of opens up the quad slightly more, and that allows me to straighten up. So instead of being here, I'm essentially tucking this in by tightening up the glute on the right, and that allows me to be straight up and down. Can you see that? So instead of being here, I am essentially tucking this muscle in, and that allows me to be up and down. You're not going to use this that often because there are only 3 moves in the form that are straight up and down. I should not say that you would not be using it often. There are only 3 moves that require you to be up and down, but one of them is single whip, and there are like 10 single whips in the form. So I should not say that you won't see it. You will. So does that help?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so given the 5 count, we're going to match your hands to that 5 count. Okay, I'm going to show you what it looks like facing you. Then I'm going to turn around so that, or show you various other directions so you can see more clearly how this works. So if I'm here and I'm almost at the bottom, 1, I'm shifting my weight toward here to release the right foot. 2, I'm kind of separating my hands. Can you see? 1 is a little forward and 1's a little back. Then when I put all my weight to the right, I have one hand up and one hand down. Okay, so this is a ward off down, and this is like a grabbing hand. Then when I step forward, I step and close. Then as I shift my weight forward, the right tiger's mouth passes through the middle of the left forearm. And I'm looking that way. So this hand swings up as this hand pulls down. So even though this is called ward off, actually it's a compound move because the only ward off is this hand. What this hand is doing is pulling. So in the application, you are moving under the other person's arm and pulling their elbow down over your arm. So and that's why you're going across the middle of your left forearm, because you're pulling across there. And that's also why your hand shape is like this and not this, because this is your contact point. So by moving it this way, you can get your contact point up so that can contact your opponent. Okay? So once again, let's do a quick review of opening and closing. So when you had your standing shape, if you move one up and one down, you're going to have the top hand about shoulder level, the bottom hand under your elbow. Then as you open and you close on the other side. Okay, open and close on the other side. So this is the basic shape that we're talking about. You're talking about going from, so here, when you have all your weight on the right, you're going to start making your circle. And in the course of making your circle, you have this ward off on the bottom and this grabbing shape on the top. Then you're going to step and close, and then shift weight and separate your hands. And as you separate your hands, you're going to look in that direction, okay? And your hand comes up as you look toward the right. Your opponent is actually here, okay? So left ward off, your opponent is to your side. Your next move is going to be right ward off, where your opponent is directly in front of you. And that's why.
So
yes.
the opponent at the end that you're looking at should be at 3 o'clock or at the
You're
corner?
looking at 3 o'clock, but actually they're not quite all the way at 3 o'clock. But you're
So they're
looking
more
at,
in the corner.
they're more in the corner.
Okay.
But the reason you're looking at 3 o'clock is you're following the movement of the dominant hand, which is this hand. This is the ward off hand. So gaze usually follows the dominant hand. Okay. So I'm going to do it going this way. So if I'm almost at the bottom, I'm going to shift left. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, one more time. We're almost at the bottom. Shift left, 1, 2, all the weight is on the right, 3, 4, 5. So you're you have this swinging feeling when you're coming up and this pull down feeling on the right. And the right hand is kind of ahead of your hip. It is actually in the same shape as it was at the end of opening. Remember when you did opening, that hand is at the same spot. Okay? So are there any questions on that one? No? So let's go on to right ward off. Okay? So I'm going to show it to you, facing you, and then we'll go through the footwork and everything else. Okay? So this is what it looks like. So when I was here and I did left ward off, what I'm doing to right ward off is I'm going to shift back, turn. So the opponent is right in front of me. So the difference here is that you are, when you are here, what you're going, let me show you the footwork. When you're here, you are doing a bow stance. I'll do it in the same direction as you. We're in a left bow stance. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to shift weight back to free up this foot. Then I'm going to turn this foot so that the 2 feet are parallel. This is going to be my back foot. Okay, I'm going to shift all the weight to the new back foot, come in, step out, and then shift weight. So I think the count is probably the same. Let's see. Yes. Okay. So the count would be from the left bow stance, shift a little weight to the right to free up the left. That would be 1, 2, turn, 3, all the weight to the left, 4, you're going to pull in and step out, and heel ball toe bend knee. Now, when we were here, we shifted, we turned, and then we put all the weight here, and this leg just moved straight in front of where it was. It just moved forward. In this case, what we're going to do is we're going to pull in before we go out. And the reason is your feet are further apart. So because your feet are further apart, what you're going to do is basically pull in slightly to stabilize your stance and then step out into your right bow stance. Does that make sense? So this one has a little pull in, the left one did not. So let's go through the footwork once more. Okay, so for left bow stance, for left ward off, shift left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For right ward off, 1, 2, 3, all the way on the left, 4, 5. Okay. Now let me show you the hands. So if I do it toward the side, which I think you can see better, at the end of left ward off, I'm here. When I'm going into right ward off, I'm shifting my weight to the right. Hands have not moved, right? I'm turning my left foot so the feet are parallel. Hands have not moved. When my weight goes to the left, I'm going to pull with the left and ward off down with the right. And this is just like the mirror image of left ward off. Remember when you moved all your weight to the right, you had one up, one down? It looked kind of like this. Okay, then you're going to pull in and step and close. And ward off right. So the hand shape is different here. And what you're doing is you're pulling across the middle of the right forearm, and this part of the hand shape is the same in the sense of the slant of the palm. So if I were to do it this way, let's say this way. Okay, so if I were to go from here, so you can see that my hand passed over the middle of the right forearm, and I'm about 1/5 distance diagonally below the ward off of the right. If I'm doing it in front of you, okay, what you should think of in terms of your shape is that the left hand is diagonally below and about 1/5 distance away. The right hand is diagonal. So this is like at your shoulder level, and this is that your hand is above your elbow. Okay. Your elbow should be lined up with your knee. Your elbow and knee should be lined up. So when you come here, your elbow and knee should line up. And that should give you a very stable stance. Okay, so let's try that again. I'm going to do it in this direction. So let's do it from almost to the bottom. Almost to the bottom. Shift left, turn right. All the weight on the right. One hand up, one hand down. Step and close. Shift weight and separate. And that's left ward off. Right ward off. Shift right, 1, 2. Turn the left foot to the corner. 3. Pull and ward off as you shift all your weight to the left. Then 4. Pull in, step and close. Shift weight and separate. Questions?
I'm a little confused about the step and close on the second ward off, the right ward off. Can you show
Okay.
just the hand?
Just the hands. Okay. So when you are at the end of left ward off, your hands are like this. Your hands basically don't change when your left foot turns. When your weight shifts to the left side, then you're going to pull left and ward off down. So your pull is beyond your shoulder. Can you see it's beyond my shoulder? It's not here, it's here. So when I'm here, no change. Pull and ward off. Okay. Then as I come in, pull in, step and close. Shift weight, one up, one down.
Thank you.
Yes? Okay, let's do that a few times. I'm going to go this way because I think that you can see it better if I start from this side. I'm going to do left ward off and right ward off together. Okay, so we're going to start almost at the bottom. Left ward off. Shift left, turn right. All the weight on the right, one hand up, one hand down. Step and close. Shift weight and separate. Ward off right. Shift right. Turn the left foot to the corner. Pull and ward off down as you shift all your weight to the left. Pull in, step and close. Shift weight and separate. So make sure that your alignment is right. Your elbow's got to be over your knee. Okay? One more time. From almost at the bottom. Left ward off. Shift left. Turn right. All the weight on the right. One hand up, one hand down. Step and close. Shift weight and turn. Ward off right. Shift the weight to the right. Turn the left toe to the corner. Pull left, ward off right as you shift your weight to the left. Pull in, step and close, separate and shift weight. How did that feel? So I'm going to do it from another direction. I'm going to do it facing this way. Okay, so we're almost at the bottom. And we're going to do left ward off. Shift left. Turn right. All the weight on the right. One hand up, one hand down. Step and close. Shift weight. Open. Ward off right. Shift right. Left foot turns to the corner. Pull left. Ward off down right. All the weight is on the left. Come in, step and close. Separate and shift weight. And from the direction that you would normally do it, almost to the bottom. Shift left. Turn right. All the weight on the right. step and close, turn and shift weight. Ward off right, shift right, turn the left foot to the corner, pull left, ward off down right as your weight goes all to the left, come in, step and close, shift weight and open. How did that feel? Good. Any questions? You're still thinking about it. So there is a great temptation to move your elbow up when you're doing right water, by which I mean that when you have come here, so when you're here and you've done this pull and you come in and out, I want to make sure that your hand is above your elbow. A lot of people want to ward off like this straight across. Don't do that. You're going to come this way. Okay. One of the reasons why I don't want you to do that is when you do this, you're going to raise your shoulder and all your chi is going to come up. So you want to keep your chi down. So your elbows should always be below your shoulders. And that's why I wanted you to make sure your elbow points were pointed down when you did opening. Okay, keep your elbows down. Yes. So you're here and not here. You can see my shoulders kind of cocking up when I do that. Okay.
I caught myself doing that and went, wait, shoulders are not supposed to move.
Yes, this is true. So, you think of warding off, yes, but not like that. Okay? And you're pulling across the middle of your forearm in both cases, left and right. Okay? And make sure that your elbow is over your right knee. You don't want to be either here or here because your body is then out of position. Okay? When your back foot is pointed that way, you want your hips to be that way. Okay? So what happens when people get their elbows misaligned with their knees, their hips often follow. And then when your hips follow, your knees get cocked. And you do not want to cock your knees. Okay? So keep those knees lined up with your toes, both back and front. Okay? So let's do it a couple of times from the very beginning. All right? So I'm going to turn around and we're going to be shoulders width apart, hands by your sides, touching the seams of your pants. Think about being a sunflower, head up and tailbone down. Your feet are rooted. Opening. Rotate your forearms as you come up to shoulder level. Then press down almost to the bottom. Grasp the bird's tail, ward off left, shift left, turn right, all the weight on the right, one hand up, one hand down, step and close, shift weight turn, ward off right, shift right, turn the left toe to the corner, Pull left, ward off, down, right. All the weight on the left. Pull in, step and close, shift weight and separate. Okay, a couple of more times before we close class. So once again, shoulders width apart. Prepare. Head up, hips down. Opening. Rotate your forearms as you raise your arms to shoulder level. Pointing your elbows down, press down, almost to the bottom. Grasp the bird's tail, ward off left. Shift left, turn right, all the weight on the right. One hand up, one hand down. Step and close. Shift weight and turn. Ward off right. Shift right. Turn the left toe to the corner. Pull left, ward off down right. Come in. Step and close. Shift weight and separate. And make sure your alignment is good, and make sure that you have maintained shoulder width apart. Okay, because if you are not shoulder width apart, you will not have a good base. Okay, here we go again. Prepare. Head up, hips down. Opening. Rotate your forearms. Come up to shoulder level. Group your elbows as you come down, almost to the bottom. Grasp the bird's tail, ward off left. Shift left, turn right. All the weight on the right, one hand up, one hand down. Step and close. Swing and shift weight. Ward off right. Shift right. Turn the left toe to the corner. Pull left, ward off down right. Pull in, step and close, shift weight and separate. Okay? How'd that feel? So next time we're going to do maybe the rest of Grasp the Bird's Tail. If not, we'll go as far as we can. Okay, so Grasp the Bird's Tail includes ward off left, ward off right, roll back, press, and push. So basically, it's what they think of as the 4 square energies. Okay, the energies that go north, south, what we would call north, south, east, and west. The Chinese don't say north, south, east, and west. The Chinese say east, south, west, and north, because they think of it the way the sun travels. So it's east, south, west, and north. And it also corresponds to the seasons. So it's spring, summer, fall, and winter for the Chinese corresponds to those directions. Okay. And any questions on what we've done thus far? Well, practice, and I will look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.